Davis.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they had it easy last
environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Back to throw. Hartman. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Titan football.
Here we go. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down.
On first down, Garoppolo. He finds Corey Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Here we go. Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one. We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Go now. 15, line it. 15, line it. 54. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 2nd down now, it's Johnson, and he's got room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Hartman. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And we roll now on the graphics for the offensive starters.
Let's take a look at the left tackle, Taylor Lewan. A big, gregarious guy with great athletic ability. Plays the game with a little bit of an edge. In fact, he doesn't play to the whistle. He plays to the echo of the whistle.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Uncorks one for Davis. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Here we go. Check three, check three, check three. Hey, high 7. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. 5.
On first down, Hart right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
On second down, it's Blake. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
60 Pittsburgh. Stage situation. Let's go. Snap.
From the gun, Hartman. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans.
That's our ball, baby. That's our ball.
Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block?
After reviewing the play,
the Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game.
And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. A big play there for Detroit. 45 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit them with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Ready?
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down now, it's Johnson.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Taking it about the 16. Now after the punt on that play, the Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. 48 yards.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Operating from the gun. Hartman. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Tackle. Switch. Rock it. 3, along 3.
From the gun, Hartman. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. T.J. Hawkinson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Elliott good on the extra point. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to... See how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a 9-yard loss on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge of the line of scrimmage to give them a spot to get to. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to turn the corner.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. And he will find Davis. That's complete.
Go ahead.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. To throw is Garoppolo. He completes this one to Mack. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Here we go. White.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Garoppolo now. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. From the gun, it's Garoppolo, and this one complete to Smith. And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The kick by Sanders is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Philip Dorsett in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've come to halftime, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On second down, it's Mack. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Here we go.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. And that's caught by Smith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
Here we go. 21.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down now, it's Mack. Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Anything to make of this, or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a third.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight, all the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
Following the fumble recovery, Hartman looking left side. He's got it complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
That's what I'm talking about. Not him.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
There.
Here's 2nd and 8. Rolling to his right. And his throw is incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Hartman. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their body.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys continue to pour it on. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the ground, it's Mack. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Garoppolo. He's got Smith here. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation they were not really focused on it.
CD, put on your OC cap here. What do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play and we're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback and giving him a run-pass option.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now an open man, that's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. Touchdown, Detroit! Mike Gesicki. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Brandon, is there any way you and I can join this quarterback in the zone he's in? He's absolutely feeling it. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the ball.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They go right back to Mack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You've got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball, because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 23 yards on the play. Garoppolo now. 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. Complete. Smith has it. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter, it's a good running back dive play.
On 2nd down, it's Mack, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here, because we're still at that stage where you have a...
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
On now is the Titans punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Got it.
Mike by 4. Mike by 4.
X3. 218. Chop.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Throwing on first down. Hartman. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Mike 54.
Ready.
On 1st and 10, Hartman. Going to throw right side here, complete. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On first down, Hartman. His throw caught at about the 5. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. From 21 yards away as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Mack, draw play. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Here we go.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Garoppolo. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he is going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there.
Here we go.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, Garoppolo looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Here we go.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. It's caught. Smith. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Here we go.
Check 45's the mic. Quit talking about it.
Garoppolo on 1st down. This goes to Mack on the check down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. This one caught by Davis. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Garoppolo on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. To throw is Garoppolo. They'll run the screen with Mack. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They run the draw play with Mack. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
SOS.
Again, it's Hill. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And he will finally be taken down at the Titans' 31-yard line. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, summertime and the living is easy. Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Brings up second and 11 at the 33-yard line.
Hey, we got four. We got four down. Get it.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
The quarterback keeps it. It's a loss of a yard.
The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our